Howdy everybody, Jughead here, and welcome back to Section 3 of 3 as we deliver this beautiful Cessna 170 to Sidney, Montana. We started a couple days ago in Portland, Oregon, and we have just refueled in Havre City, Montana. We got her pointed east. Let's go along for the journey. And this shows our route from the farm all the way to Sidney. We are just about there. And one thing about eastern Montana, there's even more and more open space. Here's another really cool homestead I came across. Quite the collection still in this one. It'd be fun to explore it. There's probably 10 outbuildings that used to be there, if not more. Barns, corrals, cabin stations. Well, as the afternoon started to heat up, no surprise, we did get to start picking up a few bumps. Nothing too bad, and yes, despite having a GPS, I still always have paper charts for all of my ferry operations. They've never failed me yet. Now here's a different situation. As I was coming out across this wheat field low, I was starting to see something out in the distance in the field, and it just looked out of place. So I banked to the right just a little bit, came on down. As I started getting closer and closer, it's like, that looks like the size of a thrash machine or a combine, but why would it be parked out here in the middle of the field in the off season? And because that old gleaner caught fire and burned down last year. Hopefully it didn't take out anybody's wheat crop. Who knows, maybe it's been there more than 1 year. I don't know, but there were still some tracks around it, so I think it's fairly recent. I bet it was last summer's event. Hopefully nobody was hurt. Well, with Glasgow, Montana behind us, it was time to take a slight turn towards the south, about a 10-15 degree check turn, and that left us with less than 1 hour or less than 100 miles to go. Fort Peck Reservoir soon came into view over to the right as well. Well, both myself and the owner of this airplane have a mutual friend that lives out just west of Sidney on his cattle and wheat farm and ranch, Brian Prevost' place. So I'm getting ready to drop in. I've landed at his airstrip before. I wanted to take a scout of the fields around him and his airstrip condition, see if it was going to be usable to come back out this afternoon and give the new owner some training. And of course, you gotta always fly by, let the friends see the new airplane and the wave. We'll see you again soon, Brian. Well, here we are approaching Sidney, Montana. This is an airport I've been into 3-4 times over the past couple years, either delivering airplanes or taking airplanes through. We're going to basically enter a 45 to the right downwind landing on runway 11. Not only did the winds favor that, but I also knew there was some nice grass just to the left-hand side, about 1,000 feet down, that led right to the ramp, and a nice way again to save some wear and tear on the Alaska bush wheels for the owner. So during this pass, I just do an overflight pass, make sure there's no big obstacles since I was last in there. And I knew the owner would be out watching, let him see his airplane fly by and listen to it, and he appreciated it. A quick text to the owner verified what hangar or what location you actually wanted me to shut down at. So just up ahead to the left. Pretty tight going down this road between the hangars, so slow and making sure you're clear and left and right. There was a little bit of some equipment on the left that made it even a little tighter than normal.
How you doing, John?
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you. How'd she fly?
She flew great.
Does it fly
Oh,
good?
God, she flew great.
Good.
She did wonderful.
I like to hear that.
Oh,
Oh, they put the seat in?
I put the seat in. Well, it's not secured.
Oh, okay.
It's just in place.
You just kind of
Just in place, yep.
I ordered a couple of Atlee Dodge jump seats for the back
Okay.
with the sport aircraft seat covers for it.
Perfect. No, and we rode a tailwind all the way to Glasgow.
Yeah?
And we didn't pick up any headwind component until 50 miles out.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
about
was
where you get it.
maybe 10 at the most.
Figured you'd have a tailwind somewhere along that high line.
We ran really nice winds the whole way, and
Good deal.
she just flew like a champ. So
Everything worked good in it?
worked really good.
796 do you good?
Yes, I love those.
Yeah.
They're such handy features.
Yeah,
They're
we have one
such
in our old
handy
one as well.
features. You know, and all the Garmin's really do the same thing, but I've just always liked how that one is. It
Yeah.
seems to be just a little nicer layout and handier, and I've just always enjoyed having those.
It's just like having a laptop on your dash.
Just about. Just about.
Are you trying to catch a plane out of here right away, or
No, I have. So I am on.
Well, that afternoon, I jumped back in the airplane with Mike. We spent about an hour and a half out at Brian Prevost's place, and we were using the wheat field pointed right into the wind, which you see with this green stripe, which was a perfect place to get Mike, get his feet back underneath him in the tail dragger. That north-south red line is where the traditional runway is that goes into the barn where he flies his Super Cub. I've been in and out of there with my 170 as well. At sunrise, we were up again and flew another hour before it was time for me to jump on Cape Air's flight back to Billings. I was looking forward to flying their new Tecnam Twin. A lot more comfortable for the passengers, bigger, more traditional cabin. Though the pilot says the airplane doesn't carry the weight, it's not as reliable, it's not as fast. They prefer the old Cessnas. But as a passenger, it was a cool ride.
As we come into Billings, great view of the Bighorn Mountains there. I've made 2 deliveries and I got a 3rd one ready to come down into Sheridan, Wyoming. Be sure to check that out, the Wintertime Frozen J3 and coming up a 172 Amphib. The fixed gear, the pilots were able to keep the speed pushed up to really short final, and they did a really nice job with the arrival. Good touchdown with the crosswind. I was impressed with this young crew. In the terminal, I found this guy and his beautiful dog. She was a cute little lab. He lives part of the year up in Fairbanks, Alaska, and the rest of the time down here. And we traded lab stories and some hunting stories. And then as I was going upstairs, found this, the world's largest belt buckle, Montana Silversmiths. I own some of their beautiful buckles myself. This was life size, like 6 feet tall. That was pretty cool to see. Before long, I was coming in to final approach back into Seattle. It had been a comfortable ride on the Embraer 175 flown by Horizon Airlines. They had a very nice smooth touchdown. It was good to be home. Dakota was sure glad to see me, so we jumped on the motorcycle and we got a quick mile of running in through the neighborhood, one of his favorite activities. Big thank you to Mike for trusting me to bring this beautiful airplane over to him in Sidney, Montana. It was a pleasure to fly it. Great to do business with you again. We'll see you soon in the skies over Montana. Jughead's out. Thanks, everybody.